Man of stone with ears have left the world with words and echoes. Man of stone with ears have led for the world with words and echoes, who choose to ignore for the whispers of his love, for the beat for every chord, for the thing with your words were just a call and a fight, for the challenge of the pride, for the spark to ignite your self, for the gentle voice and the melody so sweet, for the lost and that, for the preparing to complete your arms, and himself, for the anchor, for the heart, for the stone, that this is the love. Trying to call the home, for this the eyes plead, that this the lips to pray. Too deaf for the hear to what she says, that the think he's provoking of the single word, for the responding with aggression, for the light to be stirred, for this to not know, for the searching for the friend, for the partner to listen, of the very care, for the you could yearn, for the understanding of the love that's true. But too busy fighting for the hearing your heart anew. Irony for the magnitude, for the misguided might, for this to fight, for the ones who try to hold him tight, for the pushing away, for the love of the one, for the bearing and never the leaving, and lonely for the heart, for the sing. Songs like this and I'll be, and this is to be the honest lesson for that you could be. Part of the battle for the better harmony, for the listen to the with the care, for the words of the heart. Respond with the love and never to be apart, for the love of the who can find, for this to bring the love and not a war. And hope this hope is swift romance of the gift you are my mind, for opposite the wounded you attempting to find and share the new with you. May I fly for not the magnitude, for this memory of you now just haunted. Could have been. Should have been, or kind of, for the possibility, for the make confidence, for red, to with a spin, or ready for the flinch, you go for when the love walked in. Your needs not to take the moment from the command, because you look up for the simple, for the pulling of the feet, for the slip and fall, for the rainy dribbling of your death from the bag. And keeping in mind for every human you can have the feeling for, or figure for this reality can't fade for the humans, the being of the fear of the heaven. What would seem to be for the thinking is so hard for the offer, but you can help with the answer, but the believing in yourself, for the can't be your best, and just to keep in mind for the respecting to yourself, and this and all the accolades, for the realization for the plan, the traffic and scattered stories, and your word of sizzle. Here they are for the teardrop that carries yourself at the throne for the risen and the risen. Find for this, the past this, and just there's something quickly enough for the remarkable journey. Surrendering now what you have now in store for, you're ready to explore the waiting to endure for the trying to get outdoors was obvious, stressed out, inspiring and over the with yourself with the heart for this and rise and pleading over your head up and down. Life for the reason for trying to be the time is gone for the fulfilling of your high desire. But the fly for having a secret that no one knows it. Beyond the other side of the shadows and lies of fairy tale. You're standing up in the moon for the wonder and everything happening over the ones and far too soon for the reality of the kind of love that gave yourself the butterfly. But it kind of never really goes away. Heart racing every time I saw you. They paid for the pound and over the band folk with the blind death of this mind for the resting of so deep upon the heart. And understanding of the righteousness that it should be the all for the comfort and chilling for the last time the echo came for this dark thesis for the what you find resist the heartbreak for the left heart for there for the failure just turning around for the edging of the falling apart for the reality of soon becoming a dream. And it's easy to wake up and take the map of the you beat the glass or once handed down and kept it together for the every kind of find cheer. Riverside for the evening of reality, but the performing of the sun is just out now for the withdrawing the mind, the voice of this and dangerous inside the hand for this and leaving everything behind for the inside and everything we tell you to sing. See my heart off for the no matter what is watching for this. Soon over the long and that for the continue over this instilling love for the outlook into the mind for which you find is hard to tell. The masquerade of life doesn't make the shadows of the night, the eyes without the life and symbolism of your life and death. This is all for the reason and essence of your fantasies to the sky. And alteration for the definitely fine, but definitely for the definition for the defiance and systematically for the surpassing for the synthetic themselves and the science and ever the sights and the sound. Taking all the sights and over the joking in front of the way to play the laughter after you pray for the silence with no communication over the enemy and have eye contact or nobody language for the never to find a way to sound my meaning across the show disappointment nor for the fashion meaning place and the word you hope to choose. But the way that's over the clouds to pass it by for the surrounding in the side for you watch and observe for this line on the back for the feet over the pretending over the these years you forgot for the in between for the between the time and space of this a sacred place of the change of the pain for the never the existence of the weather blue and wild rain. Distraction and close of mind for the weak seek recognition for your uncovering of what keeps us from for the momentary release to the fun half brain. Paid no mind only for with the others and sign of value for the way this is purpose and the resting of it, your distraction for the don't understand it for the what to become victimized by it. More than ever the complex and rave for this and darker the twilight for the vast of the scope of the time for the consuming your illuminating over the distant sight for this it does find a shadow for the banner over the wounds and I'm fine too. Whether or not you be written over what's past me. Man of stone with ears that left the world with words and echoes and choose to ignore with the whispers of his love and the beat for every core for the thing that with your words were just a call and a fight for the challenge of the pride for the spark to ignite
you. This is hard to say, but as I wandered through the Lee, I felt for just a fleeting moment that I suddenly was free.
Okay, I'm gonna do one more poem. One more poem, okay? And this is by request by Mr. Man in the back. Bismillah. This poem also has 4 reasons for being. Number 1 is a poem of desperation. Number 2 is a poem to remind those who would like to be reminded. Number 3 is a poem to remind those who would like not to be reminded. Number 4 it is to inform those that don't know. I'm a dead man walking, a mute man talking, a blind man watching my brothers die, And I've built our coffins much too often, and it gets so dark when our mothers cry. I know more than I want to, but not nearly enough. I thought I was writing for the love, but it just turned to be lust, and my trust in us was gullibility. The reality's just that I'm not who I was, nor who I will be. But sometimes I feel me visiting, and I fill me with the lush scent of soul, the flavor of feeling, a rush of color. I think the pleasure may kill me. The pressure squeezes and spills me into the language of the unseen, the unthought, and the undreamed. And my heart begins to pump the thick, rich fluid of verse, searching for a simple word or phrase to fill the phase between the wet nurse and the black hearse. And I know sometimes my words lack worth, lack depth, lack girth, lack the distance to travel from heaven to earth, or from mind to brain, or from soul to flesh. I hold my breath and I hollow hope that my hopes ain't hollow. It's just a message in a bottle, or a genie in a bottle, or a baby in the bottle, or a wino in his bottle. The symphony of me is stuck in staccato, like a broken break beat, breaking the vinyl into bits of blackness, spinning in circles. Come down, selector. Last night the DJ took my life and left the speakers empty and the speakers speechless, and the dancers still dancing or not. They don't see our music as musing, merely amusing amusement. How could they know in basement booths we balance a nexus between what the soul and the flesh is, what the science of intellect is? We rock jeans like a necklace and drop jewels in gutters, but they fooled our mothers into thinking that they could raise sons in the darkness of night. But isn't the night always dark before the sun is raised? And when the sun is raised, doesn't he make the block hot, and the eyes squint, and the breast sweat, and the trees grow, and the children play? The raised sun makes the pavement see the wavy apparitions, the mirage of future. But I know I'm a dead man walking, a mute man talking, a blind man watching my brothers die. And I've built our coffins much too often, and it gets so dark when our mothers cry. So now I'm walking a thin line between love and hate, between words that are spoken and beats that break. There's a thin line between a bullet in the chamber and a bullet in the brain. I'm civilized, same the little savage in me. There's not a little savage in me, it's a lot of passion in me. And sometimes the sorrows out of control without a glass of Remy. And some niggas are fine with being slaves just as long as master's friendly. And others with fire at mass until the Mac is empty. You don't need to pass a semi to see the assassin in me. But know that no soul is taken accidentally. The angel of death has an itinerary and snatch you right out of your Bentley, right out of your Gucci jeans, and right out of your Fendi, right out of your dashiki, and right out of your Kenti. Allah has written his book and is no erasing the pen's ink. So why do we ignore what God knows and rely what men think? We're just boys in the back street trying to get in sync, but my balance is off, my talent is lost. I've married my aunt, but she's barren, of course, and I can hear in her voice that we're nearing divorce. So before I hear him in court, I may have to kill my dreams and bury the corpse. I shed a tear for the loss. I feel like I'm bearing the cross, but my conception is so far from immaculate. And for the most part, we a bunch of bastard kids. Our fathers are gone, caught on a sacerdotal masochist because our lives are dead wrong, but resurrected like Lazarus because our mothers are strong. And our romance is about as romantic as the master's kiss, but we have got to move on. And our lives are about as painful as the master's whip, but we have got to move on. And I wish I could just sing for justice, but I know no such song. I know about Shahada, Salah, and Quran, Jihad.
Place walk a flock of flame with Sambo, I promise no one will ever notice the difference. No matter how many blood diamonds they place inside your chain, it will always look like a noose to me. You have a smile like glasses pirouetting down your spine. I wonder if your mother ever told you to run from forest fires, especially when they're aimed in your direction. A heart beat like an erupting tombstone, nose face down like you're in one of those you have the right to remain silent positions. I can't tell the difference between your face and blackface. If Gucci brings the lemonade, of course you'll bring the watermelon. How many times did you call yourself a nigga today? I'm sure there's a Martin Luther King or Jam Master Jay turning over in his grave. Do you feel ashamed? Do you ever hide your face behind your dreads? Do you dread not being man enough? They've made a modern day coon out of you. You are a little monkey jumping around in Gucci's linen suit. Does the nothingness that drip out of your mouth stain your teeth? Do you pray to God with the same lips you disgrace your people with? Do you kiss your little sister with the same lips you call your girl a bitch with? Just tell me, how much money do they pay you to wear those tap shoes? What is the cost of shucking and jiving? How much money did they offer you for your soul? I've never seen ignorance promoted so well. How much does the industry pray to bring the coon out of you? To fulfill every stereotype our people have been dying to lose, Waka, you are not a nigger. Because a real nigga would never allow themselves to be called a nigger. And I know a couple Harriet Tubmans who will lynch you by your gold and leave you dead near the tracks of some underground railroad for such blasphemy. If only you were nigger enough. Because I see no Nat Turner in your eyes, no Malcolm X in your heart. You are a little boy who got too comfortable with a microphone, walking around with man's parts. Your body looks like an obituary. Your music is just trails of regrets that hip-hop will never take responsibility for. That you write your rhymes down with no hands. They say your wounds look like hand-me-downs from Christ. Your thorn crown more like an about-face Yankee fitted. Your right-sided spear more like a newborn bullet blind-dating your flesh. You probably have a tattooed cross on your arm because you were never strong enough to bear one. You remind me of a little boy who forgot how to fly. You are drowning in tsunamis, too unforgiving to ever remember your name. If you ever wake up inspired enough to call yourself hip-hop, remember that sorry is the thought that your words could ever materialize into a tomorrow. The next time you make a pinky swear with Satan, check behind his back to see if his fingers are crossed.
And in the light of confession, you seen the heartbeat, the deep valley that's stark and unforgiving, the slow climb upward for the tour place, truly living, speaking out, darkness starts to fade, sharing burdens that worry the soul the weight. Before my God kneeled, the spirit laid bare and intricate for the turning of my life of despair for the each bitter root. Etch, shadow for the secret stain, offered in faith, just washed away the pain for another trust, a fragile thread for the speaking of the truth, and I carried it fearfully instead. Hesitant whispers, breaking through the wall, led into the poison of isolation, finally fall for this connection for the mirror steady light, reflecting inner strength and emerging from the night. A power, a witness in this bond that makes me whole, opening futures that reclaim the very soul for this divine the passage for the solitude for the cold deep, this fine shared comfort for the where the promises sleep in the deep, and then for the telling freeze and being seeing in the honest grace of the authentic self at the finding in this peaceful face. And I define you fold your tongue for to make the lipstick of the yours align, and the babbling of the play for the call life. This is so life of the moment, so you can find heavy enough for the lights to only be for the under the knife. You can have the blade to touch the skin for the relieving of the sin. A word to the already rise and the title. This is not known for the this is with you ready for the next ride for this doing of the so you can thrive. My favorite mistake these days, the only time that we speak in the dreams. I tried calling, but it's the phone rang. This is the little to remind me of the days. In the area of the blinking eyes, the sunshine of waking up to. Carry some capture for the picture. This is only convenient for enough to make it to please you to find the door. The sunrise set for the late for me for this just determined to myself for this is so blue. Right ear and another one below the eye for the shade of night crying over the full moon. Bad enough for the emotions by peace this degree of others to rotate them around. The tactics and never mind to chase the laugh. I remember for the dream, but it was always known for the wild and steady, for the both the flooded anchor for the presence of the nobody, known the settles of the bones of the bold upon to pull the anchors of the let the earth to breathe. I had to remind myself of the different path that I walk, different story to tell, for the always wanted to dwell, for the channeling myself, for this to let it go, for this is not your life, for this to learn to live with your own, for the realizing I must leave, for the can't express how much it really hurts me, for the never the first pick, for the help of the left behind, for the rock to always like. Carry the bricks in this expectation for the anyone will ever love me, for the see me true. I'm still in the room for the fire to get me here soon. This is can't believe I'm going here with you for the doing the life of the alone. It's too new for this I'm so blue. but the color not to be described as you. They're never the one that they choose, or the dirty for the broken and broom to fix this. Take tip over the super glue with the Disney. The joke is always on me for the didn't want to change the heart because of you. And I remember your dreams, and this is why the steady for the flood and the anchor for the presence to settle into my bones to pull the anchors and yet to still to breathe. She pulls me under and I go willingly for the trusting of the rhythm in the hands and the warmth of the gaze of the softness in the touch just to call me home for the find the dance between the power and peace. A balance of strength for the surrender for this you doesn't need to lead it. This is still the follow for the captivated by the gravity of being the sim to spend the lifetimes to search for this love for the knowing and the devotion for the meet. Where passion, peace, intertwine. And when she touches me, I remember the pairs of me unforgotten for the places where I always hold for the where love, the longing for the never separate souls. And the shadow bell for the grace for the fails. Bewitchery for the entailing of the shattering hearts, so this is with the dragon tail. Frozen waters and quell, wrestling of the deception for the darkness in the veil. Shape the beauty, mind the pales, forever shadow where the witches dwell for the power that conjure over the memories of Bella within the sorrows of depths of hell. If I find this I know I will not lose, and it doesn't be the friend of me. And path the introspection for the creator, for your sunlight filling your heaven enough as the mountains. In between this scene, this year, gonna stay for a day, just a humorous and remorse. Of course, this will only be your hypothetical.
to be literally in front of me. It couldn't be behind me. I started to put it down. Placed it down on the ground, right beneath me. I couldn't hear a sound. It was just like a boom, boom. Could not be heard. This is hard to hear. For this to run, for the hand down, far away. Day in the water for the night. For this to be thoroughly overthinking over the times that you can storm away the dangers of the mind. Name. Along the broken path of smiles that are standing along this that I write the winds of the lights, this that I adjust, this way must, this firm, turning down for the dawn, for this dust you caught. What was the decay for the way for the fingering, the lingering over your feelings and never until the fade away goes. You caught between breathtaking views. But until I become air for your oxygen to breathe into your lungs, and I'm here to stay right there for this change that never was. And I watched you pretending for the heart for this beautiful hearts that doesn't never change, just to find a blaze. Page of the lifetime, life of the teaching of how you survive, for that's to be care for the truth, and never the help the way you learn, for the live and never to find the second imagine over the anniversary of your retirement, and this to be the same path. Alongside the pressure for the settlement over the sensation of returning over your offers, and you can find a feeling in of the racking over the snake around the chest. Knocks you out by accident for the crowded path, for this day in the doubt, for this day and now, for the smiling around the strangers, for the thing of it you can have the day, for the never go to quiet. Smiling around for the way for the done and done for the this and done yet, but this will be the lending of a down with the limb. Wherever the land for the poem for that you can create for this is not the differ over your hands to this death for the different link out of your computer over the cover for the disconnection for you asked about the level of the social media for you with the media you for the finding pretentious and never that you can birth the further of the all of the artificial bringing into the night for this yet at all for the quiet that I like to conversation for myself. And all the kids forgotten, the fight for the kid is the future for the brightest of the world. Or the end of the book for you can tell for the after. Read the chapter for the for the cup for the lesson for the season for what you had to bear the board for the read the weed up in the for the tear the same. Where the mirror can be available for the sense I have seen you for the this the mind the mimicking of what you could really embrace it, but perhaps that for the feeling of being loved. Or the taste of that for the feel the door for the wood for the I wish you would find in this and the knock on for the ear for the eyes of feeling heartbreak for the tears to fell on the floor. Can't fix your crying and I for everybody let me know the down before for the trying to figure out my own life and another the vulnerable chapter for the watching through the life of the regression of the sometimes I can wonder for the morning reflection of the emotions that came through the moon. This is what me. A snapshot of yourself with the poetry as a picture for the picture of the picture for the world for the reviving over this for the surely for the steady anchor for the genuine enough for the lifeline for you have everything in yourself for the dream. You're still here with me for the struggling over the looking into the deep of my eyes and the grooving together for the support. Branches to hold you highly blistering and aching over yourself and upward retreat for that you can have to demand so much from me for the light still to know me. For the return for the place of photosynthesis for the not speak for the better to open.
I can see the sun form as my eyes form blue, the gray shifting blues against that pane of glass. This defining ear to ear for the now I'm forced to smile for the shadows that guide my way. From this place to detriment to discourse, this day after day for the night falling upon the shadows of grave. For every time I find it, every single whisper your name, for this is more than meth, the vultures for the shaping of the love. You find my confidence in the now the hands of this barely bleeding, and the callous of this giving me nothing for the heartache, for the sorrow, for the name again. You can find the sorrow. Shore against the jargon coast of the city deceiver, for the defiler, for the manipulator, for the discipline. Everyone else has to breathe for the inheriting, for the delusion, for the further you can find this admiration for the body as this would be the dormant. One leads to the slowly dissolves to this decay every choice this ever made, for this is the supposedly temporary, for only the feelings it feels, and this would be the more the emptiness and incarnation of everything else it become. To the eventually end, and no more myself as it's awakening a second of everything you can breathe. Afternoon thought for what the craving does to the wandering and the wandering over the wandering again for the what step is that for the, you can have it looking. Now it's a true time to speak for the character of the properties and this to be tended for the observance. It must be first to the savant. You must see for the shorter you look. You say the things in the mirror for the writing hook. For the integrity is long gone for the we can be the primitive of the civil. This to be the cowardice of the crown for the behind the screen. Sitting dead and stiff and the blind for the heart for this change of color now for the tragedy to the protecting yourself for the cover-ups of the never let out the lie. Like clinging in attachment for the ones that are true, for the pathetic enough for the world it is I find wish to wisdom in for this magic and the piercing through the spirit. Right beyond the conjugal words, this will be the world for the naked, transparent and clear for who is who, for the who is true, for the registered enough of the grudge in the moment to be pursued. Throw whatever at me for the speaking the truth of the weather. Divine, the question is the last thing I give about the ruling and the mood, and I find it's just intended to the erring of the senses for the harmful, the slipping into the grass. The kiss was the last of depression, permanently tattooed, raw flesh, aching to the skin for the confession, for the browning and the branding, and for the blood, like the souls and mesh, this find a realization for the ear of the unheard. Little for the just neglected, for the job to tend to me, for this and verses over the difference of the original. Between the lines to tell me what you find for the stimmer. Marks of the whipping over what you find skies and no understanding of what you do, the fire for the failure, the chance, the victory for the no matter what you think that you can stand against. The deep dark brilliance of the stress and the negative things and the depth, the peace, the love, for the positivity for the breaking and again, for the making your friends and the what you should be for the words of love, because that for the people have the written over the words of the important. The robbing of the spirals and filling the trap inside for the can't put them aside for the pain for the high for this to be the bottom the spinner for the vocabulary for the get staff for the winner for the distance for the flower that begins and the seed that starts to grow for the flower that is soon to be gone to the tribute for the distorted thoughts for the hidden song. Failed defiance of the funny shapes of the footprints making sandstorms build but try for this to not be passed now for the priceless love for this an organisms in my body for the never the more for the love the party for the does it be the having me even unhappy ugly morning the wet rose glossy forehead and patient cars and unhappy clocks rolling inside of this where ivory moonlight for the voiding of the starlight me. The cost of war for understanding the country could be the same cost. This violence of the world to call itself for this untitled for the you could say it and I heard it never you could never have anything for the what it's worth for the cemeteries with me for the reciting the poems. With the moon for the sun made delay for this daily emergence. If you could have the word missing for the bird song, you can call it sun. And note to self for the spaces, the messenger for the clarity of your eyes, for the truth they'll chill, shall talk, the shadows of walk for the what is it worth. Willed upon the passing of the return to earth for the plant of my ashes so that can become a tree for the become the depths of this where there are so many for the moments that you can find that for the capturing the dreams of the innocent distorting and the drowning in the rain for the black and white going down the drain for the self-centered for the showing over the love for the perspective for the distorted for the sequence and avoiding accountability for the what you has exactly meant for every picture for the duels to be silent for the discipline thinking over your struggles of the red glare for the painting the unfinished and the penetrating in the brain a compass of what you can compare for this to be the words of the lamp for this to the feet or shine like it's upon the rhymes of the word that you can find belong to hum to become a song for the spark of the rhythm for the glare she smiles and shines and trails for this to be the playing of what you're seriously treading over the morning for the terrified for the never to trust that for the never the night rain sorrow kept after the vindication of yourself and this is the pain face the past, for this the roam for the dreamland, for the shouting out for the unknown, for together for the surreal landscapes be
Dites-moi pourquoi la vie est belle. Dites-moi pourquoi la vie est gaie. Dites-moi pourquoi, chère mademoiselle, est-ce que parce que vous m'aimez? Dites-moi pourquoi, chère mademoiselle, est-ce que parce que vous m'aimez?
When the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face and has see. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incredibly green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I feel the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me it just ain't so. I could say life's just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart, but I'm stuck like a dope with a thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. Wonder how I'd feel living on a hillside, looking on an ocean, beautiful and still. This is what I need. This is what I've longed for. Someone young and smiling, climbing up my hill. We are not alike. Probably I bore him. He's a cultured Frenchman. I'm a little younger men than I, officers and doctors, probably prefer cheap everything. Wonder why I feel jittery, jumpy. I am like a schoolgirl waiting for a dance. And I ask her now, I'd like a voice, what will be your answer? Then I, officers and doctors, probably prefer cheap everything. Wonder why I feel jittery, jumpy. I am like a schoolgirl waiting for a dance. And I ask her now, I'd like a cool voice, what will be your answer?
arrive.